On this episode of Millstone River Live, 5 actionable ways college students can better handle personal finances. Oh, and I've got a special guest. Welcome to another episode of Millstone River Live, a podcast brought to you by Millstone River Wealth Management. So college students are notoriously bad with money. We're going to try to fix that today. And the way we're going to try to fix it is by sharing 5 things that every college student can employ so that they can be in a better position with money and make better choices. So the first thing I'd like to do as we kick off this episode is to introduce my special guest. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Hannah Siegel. I'm a freshman at Quinnipiac University, and I'm studying elementary education.
Sounds good. Sounds like you're suitably qualified to help us with today's topic. Is there anything else our listeners might want to know about you?
Oh, and you're my dad.
Awesome. Thanks for joining me on the episode, Hannah.
My pleasure.
All right. So, as I mentioned in the intro, we have 5 actionable things college students can do to help manage their personal finances in a better way. Why don't you kick us off with the first idea?
All right. The first one I have is that college students can rent or buy used textbooks. Now, usually renting online textbooks is cheapest. You only have the book for one semester only, and you have access to it 24/7. It can be on an app on your phone or on your laptop. If you want to use a physical textbook, you can rent or buy a used book. That means that you might have other people's notes and highlighting in the book, but you get to save money. So if that's okay with you, then that's a pretty good investment for this semester.
And I think everyone knows that textbooks are insanely expensive. So those are 2 good ideas on how to save a few dollars, but still have the materials that you need.
Yes.
Great. You have any other ideas?
Well, I know that for me, almost all of my textbooks were online, and that made it super easy. I could read it, highlight it, copy and paste into notes on a document, and it was super easy to use and study. My one book that was physical, I had Post-it notes in it, and then I can bring it back, and the bookstore at my school will buy it back for me. So I'm getting more money back, which is nice.
Great. Good tips. Let's talk about spending on our second idea.
All right. So college students can track their spendings on a spreadsheet or with an app and work on their budget. You can basically track how much you are spending and what you're spending your money on. And that can help you understand where your money is going, and you can understand a budget, what works for you. And like how it happens in school, you can kind of grade yourself. Again, you can use a spreadsheet online, or there are tons of apps that are free and available for anyone to use. And with said budget, you can make adjustments as you go. You can figure out what you need to buy for your dorm and what you want to buy for your social life and hanging out with friends.
So that sounds good. If someone is not that tech savvy, or they don't necessarily want to spend the time putting things into a document or into an app on their phone, you think this could work with just a plain old notepad?
Of course. As long as you are tracking everything and keeping on top of all of your spending, you can keep track of it however you want. It's super easy.
I think it's smart, maybe not fun, but definitely smart. We try to talk about this with our full-grown working and retired adult clients too, and not everybody wants to do it. It's a lot easier to figure out where there are savings opportunities or where you could reduce spending, let's say, after you have a good handle on where the money's going, right? What you're spending it on. So I think that's a good first step. The other thing too about what you're sharing here is if you have a budget that budget is based on some amount of good tracking that you've already done, so you have a handle on where your money's going, it gives you the opportunity to keep track of, are you over budget or within budget? And you can feel good about staying within your budget. And if you're over budget, don't beat yourself up. It just means you can correct course, right? And try to save money moving forward.
Exactly.
Good. Everybody likes to eat. What's your thought about an actionable way to help college students better manage personal finances around food?
Well, you might not love this idea, but I think it's good to limit eating out and off campus. That doesn't mean you can never eat out, but I think it's good to limit leaving campus. It's definitely okay to have fun, but definitely stay smart about it. The dining hall is there for a reason. Maybe the options get boring, but it's okay. Save some money and eat at the dining hall more often than DoorDash or going out.
At the risk of sounding like a dad here, if you do limit that eating out thing, probably when you do go and eat out, it's even more special.
That is true. It's always fun once in a while.
Right. Do you think that this tip might have an application even just walking around campus?
Of course. I mean, think about how many times you walked past Starbucks and you didn't buy anything from there. That's great.
Yeah, and that's a great way to save money. A lot of times people who are thinking about saving for things like retirement or other major accumulation goals will talk about that daily drink at Starbucks, and going in and spending $6 or $7 or $8 a pop, adds up. And over the course of a week or a month, or let alone a year and beyond, it's a lot of money. It's good for Starbucks. It's good if you want to be an investor. It's not necessarily good if you are the customer.
Exactly.
All right. How about our fourth idea?
So this idea is to take advantage of student discounts. Now, lots of companies offer discounts to plenty of groups, veterans, senior citizens, and college students are no different. You might have to just show your student ID and you can get a really great discount on things that you like.
Do you have any examples you could share?
Yes. Companies like Apple, Amazon Prime, Microsoft, Dell, HP, Verizon, as well as lots of clothing stores, entertainment businesses, and restaurants offer really good student discounts.
So it sounds like what you're saying here is that you can save money just for the asking.
Exactly. All you have to do is ask or look it up, and it will be there.
And I guess if you were going to buy something anyway, but you can get it for a little bit lower price, why not?
Exactly. It's worth it.
It's worth it. I agree. I think you have one more idea to share.
Yes. One more way to maybe earn money while in college is to apply for an on-campus job, maybe an RA position, or try out babysitting, pet sitting, or house sitting when you're home or on the weekends.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit more about that.
Now, most colleges have job open. You can just find the information available on their website. Maybe they have a job portal, and the jobs are definitely not demanding. They can match it with your class schedule so that you're not overbooked. It's only a few hours a week. Some jobs you can find are tour guides, working a front desk job, an RA. And speaking of being an RA, that is a great position. Sometimes you get paid to be an RA, and sometimes you get free room and board, which is super helpful when paying for college.
Yeah, so all of these things come with some responsibilities, but it sounds like what you're saying is if you take a little bit of time and do some research, you'll find ones that could suit your schedule and your lifestyle.
Exactly. And if you don't really want to work on campus or you want to work during breaks when you're home, like I said, babysitting, pet sitting, and house sitting are all really good flexible jobs. They don't require a rigid schedule. You just work when you're available.
I think that the 5 ideas you shared are great. Hopefully our listeners agree. And if they have questions about these ideas, are you willing to field them?
Yes, I am.
So if you do have a question or comment or feedback of any sort for this episode or any episode of Millstone River Live, feel free to send us an email at podcasts@millstone-river.com. Well, this has been great, Hannah. I love having you in the office with me, especially in the Millstone River Live studio. You have any final thoughts you'd like to share with our listeners?
Yeah, I hope all of these things are helpful. It's not about not spending money. It's about being smart when doing so.
Awesome. Couldn't have said it any better myself. Thanks for being with me.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Millstone River Live. Feel free to share it with someone you think might benefit. Millstone River Wealth Management is an independent wealth management firm based in New Jersey. We form a supportive partnership with our clients and help with financial education and planning. We welcome your feedback. Send comments or questions to podcast@millstone-river.com. More information about our firm can be found online at millstone-river.com. Thanks for listening.